Okay, everybody, let's take it from the top.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hi, ho, everybody, and welcome back to D Plus Us Weekly, the version of the show where we talk about shows exclusive to Disney Plus. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin Chanel, Griffin D. Patton. With me, as always, is the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Mitch George. How are you doing today?
Y'all better stop with this Baby Yoda thing. You put some respect on Sir Grogu's name, all right?
He is the baby. He is still the baby.
He is Sir Grogu.
He is Sir Grogu now. That was
Yes, Sir Grogu. Let's
episode.
go.
I love this stupid show, man. I love this stupid show so much.
I have a love-hate relationship with Star Wars at this point, and we will get into that as part of this episode. I am sure of it.
Oh, absolutely. But before we do that, folks, remember that this is a full spoiler discussion on Star Wars. We are talking about Chapter 22 of The Mandalorian, Guns for Hire. Full spoilers for the entire episode, for the entirety of Star Wars. So if you are not into that, go watch the episode and come right on back to hear our discussion with it. While you're here, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're on podcast services. There is a link in the description. It really helps us out. We love doing the video, so come chill there. Mitch, I am clairvoyant. I can predict the future, apparently.
Should never have told you that Jack Black story.
Folks, in case you're curious,
Do
I forget
to curl
when.
my beard now? Like I just trimmed it. Like it's nice, looking nice and clean. I should have just let it keep going.
I don't even remember how long ago we've talked about that in an episode. I think that was National Treasure, where we had
It
talked
was
about
definitely
that.
part of National Treasure because it turned 20 around the same time that National Treasure turned 20.
But I want to say Tuesday night, I put up or maybe Monday night, I put up our usual TikTok for the week of like, what am I going to put up? And I put up our Jack Black one because I figured, why not? I still think that this is ridiculously hilarious. And it's one of the first ones I made. So it's in the wrong format, wrong dimensions. Who cares? And then this week, Jack Black shows up in freaking Mandalorian.
I can see the resemblance.
Not only Jack Black shows up, but Jack Black shows up married to Lizzo.
And Christopher Lloyd's there just cuz.
And Christopher Lloyd there being a bastard because...
Okay, so my biggest question with this week is who pulled out the Rolodex? Was it Favreau or was it Bryce Dallas Howard?
It was absolutely Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh my god.
Just because you get... Lizzo just popping up and like whatever she wants.
Well, and she's like, I want to hold the baby. And she got the hold the baby moment that we all want. Lizzo's just like, if I'm going to be in Star Wars, I'm holding the damn baby.
Oh my god, when Grogu waves goodbye to her, it was so cute.
Oh my god. There are a lot of really cute, fun moments in this episode, but this episode also doesn't make sense in that it spends 90% of the time on a side quest. And then immediately resolves the whole Mandalorian leader Darksaber thing in like 3 minutes.
As opposed to every other Star Wars TV show where we go on a random side quest 2/3 of the way through the story just to get you to the third act. This is Star Wars tradition.
It feels different in this episodic format versus just it happening in a movie.
So I have
where
a
your
theory.
cast is a little wider than just dude in helmet and Bo-Katan.
I have a theory. We kind of saw bits and pieces of this in, I want to say last week's episode was the pirate. Yeah, the pirate fight was last week, right?
Yeah, Pirates was last week.
But really, I can see it. I think the Mandalorians are going to start being the protectors of the Outer Rim.
It's feeling that way for sure, especially with the offer from I want to use the character's name, Bombardier.
Yeah, Bombardier, Captain Bombardier.
Bombardier, yeah, which has
Black.
another connotation. Yeah, Bombardier has kind of ruined some of our mass transit here in Canada, so I have a bone to pick.
Okay,
with
that went
name.
right
But
over my
Jack
head
Black.
until you said that. So
That Bombardier is a transit or like a train company.
yeah, I had no idea.
Oh yeah, they're a Canadian train company, and there's a ton of this is going to be a weird tangent for Mandalorian, but we're getting into it anyway. There's this weird clause in a lot of public procurement projects where they have to accept bids from primarily Canadian companies. So Bombardier gets a lot of work within Canada just because they're the Canadian train maker. And we've had this one rail line that's been in the works for a decade at this point, and it's still not a thing, mostly because of, or I mean, there's been a lot of fuck ups, pardon my French, but Bombardier's is kind of top of shop.
Fair.
Here's my Toronto mass transit rant for the day, all based on the name of the character Jack Black played in this episode.
Which you were referring to for the rest of the episode as Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Jack
Yeah,
Black and Lizzo get referred to as Jack Black and Lizzo.
I did that. I was watching this with Karma, my wife, and I was trying to remember. I'm like, she's like, where's Grogu? I'm like, he's with he's with Lizzo. Like, we're just gonna call her Lizzo.
Lizzo's character doesn't even get a name. It's just the Duchess. It's just the Duchess. Yeah. No, seriously though, this did feel a little bit weird to go off on a tangent here, but I feel like with last episode being very much the Mandalorians coming in and saving Navarro, and then this one was kind of more, I mean, it's been being jokingly called CSI Mando, but that is very much what it was. Well, also going back to Din's trauma with droids, it was still a very fun episode to me. Not necessarily the most important for moving the plot along, but goddamn if I didn't have a good time. Well,
that's the thing, right? Like, I enjoyed what happened, but it ultimately felt like it was filler. It was interesting, entertaining filler, but it was filler where they've finally sort of put us on this path where the season might end with the retaking of Mandalore, but we still don't know how the former Empire / new or First Order, I think is the name. That's the name of the new one. How that starts to take form or whatever within this realm, because like this space between episodes 6 and 7, we haven't explored a ton of like this is how the First Order came to be, as we'll get into in I don't know probably a week or two's time with Bad Batch. It's interesting exploring more of that time between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy of the decommissioning of the clones and the transition into stormtroopers and all of this stuff. This is like the political aspects of this, and Bo-Katan makes a great joke in here, just like I'm tired of the politics. Just wrap it up. And it's like that to me as a viewer is one of the most entertaining things of okay, yeah, let's just dig into this. I want to get in the nitty gritty of all this political intrigue that Star Wars has become pretty well known for at this point. But this episode, just like this whole season has been building to stuff, and we really haven't gotten any sense of direction other than in some form these two Mandalorian factions are going to be united under Bo-Katan and will retake Mandalore, I guess, question mark? Like,
and then the armor
there still isn't really a conflict, right? Like there isn't an antagonist to this season, which I need there to be. Like, I don't want season 3 to be the filler season.
See, it
of
still
the
doesn't feel like
Mandalorian,
the
where it was
filler
just, it took us from.
I don't think you need an antagonist to not be filler. And no, my words there. Also, I don't think that any of this season is filler. I don't think I am of the opinion that we have not had a single filler episode in this. I can see why it feels that way, but even in these more side stories, we are still getting character growth for Din, for Bo-Katan, for Grogu a little bit, as much as you can for a puppet that does not speak. Like,
not yet.
Even though one of like the most poignant moments in this entire season so far has been Grogu willing to show people his powers.
Yeah. Him showing off, and he does it again in this episode, and it's great and it's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And
he will do anything for food. That little boy will do anything for food. But
the most food motivated creature that I've ever encountered.
Mm-hmm. I
mean, I guess I mean I agree with a lot of that sentiment. It's just for me as a fan of this, I don't want this season is to a point where we've got 2 episodes left and there really still isn't like it's been very like not quite monster of the week-esque, but it doesn't feel like a serial story, if that makes sense, right? Like it doesn't, like these things are happening, but nothing is happening because the individual episodes are driving towards a central plot. It just, they're sort of falling into the next thing.
Has Mando ever felt serialized? I don't think Mando's ever felt serialized.
There have been moments in the first two seasons where there have been, episodes that were very clearly we are stepping away from the main plot thread and doing its own thing. But it tended to. Maybe I need to go and rewatch seasons 1 and 2 because I still feel like, in hindsight, those felt like they had a proper through, plot.
Yeah,
Whereas this season, I definitely feel a little more of a disconnect.
Mando feels the same to me as stuff like Bad Batch, which is this half serialized format that Star Wars really loves to do. And a lot of people do this. Honestly, we should really do a video at some point about like serialized versus non-serialized TV shows and whatnot.
I think doing that framed around Star Wars makes a ton of sense.
Maybe that's another video essay I can add into the list of things I will eventually make. But no, we kind of have this weird style with Mando of there is an overarching story to this season. We're just going to be telling that in tandem with, oh, we go to this planet and do this thing. Oh, we go to this planet and do this thing. I mean, it was a bit for a while of, hey, let's make a Mandalorian episode. Oh, our ship's broken. We need this piece. Let's leave Grogu with the people. Oh, no, he causes chaos for the people while Mando does the thing for them to get to the part. And then they move on. Like, we have these bits for it. And I'm like, okay, this feels normal to me at this point. Like, again, season 3 feels normal. And I don't think I would care. Let me rephrase. I think I would care more about it if the stories weren't good. Like, the story here was good. Yeah. Like, I love this of the separatist coming back, using the battle droids, seeing what these battle droids could become. Yeah. Also, just anytime the battle droids pop up, like, makes me so happy.
Yeah, Clone Wars, Rebels, and Bad Batch were always... Rebels and Bad Batch specifically have been pretty good for that. Of just when they pop up, like, they shouldn't be here, but I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. Even in the new Jedi Survivor game, battle droids are popping up.
Yeah, I'm for it.
More battle droids. Give us... This is all I want from Star Wars, right? Is battle droids, specifically in, like, the time of New Hope.
I can very easily see that being the next animation project after Bad Batch. Just
after the bar
let's follow some droids. Yeah.
Like, seeing that bar of all the different droids, seeing the type of droid that is DJ Rex, previously the captain of the ships on Star Tours. There we go.
Star Tours, now the bartender in Oga's Cantina.
DJ. The bartenders are very much people.
They are people. They would be more fun if they were robots. I'm sorry. I've been to Vegas. They have robot bartenders. It's great. It's expensive, but it's great.
See, agreed, but also, like, I really liked the people that were working when I went there. Like, they were just super fun.
Yeah. I wish I had a better experience. And we both know why I didn't. We don't have to get back into it.
Yeah, let's talk about the lightsaber for the 7,000th time on this show.
Please no. Please no.
No, I did like the droid stuff here, especially. I think droids are such a fascinating part of Star Wars that, like, gets touched on once in a while, mostly into very specific droids. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if, and again, we're going to talk more about Bad Batch season 2 on a later date, but having watched that now, seeing the parallels between the droids and the clones, I would love to see that explored more, even if it's just an episode of Bad Batch that, digs into that, because that is a part of the Star Wars mythos that hasn't really been, it's been hinted at, it's like been discussed in passing.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I'd love to see more of that.
I think because we got some interesting, like, lore dumps for droids in this. I think it's the Quarren people, the people that were repairing the droids.
Warnuts?
I want to say Quarrens. Whatever they are. Whatever they are. Seeing that as like, oh, these are the guys who are the droid makers. These are the droid. No one works harder than these guys. Seeing that, we have our more lore around droids with the Babu Frick people. And it's that thing of like, it's always here. We got that little bit with the droid last week.
So it's the Ugnaughts.
The Ugnaughts, thank you.
Ugnaughts, yeah.
Like, I would love to see more of that, and seeing it here was super fun. Again,
just the
Mando.
there's so many fun Easter eggs in this episode of just, Christopher Lloyd's character is actually a separatist. He brings up the fact that Dooku was right and he was taken from us too soon and blah, blah. Like that stuff is all really fun for a Star Wars fan. But as someone who's just coming into Mandalorian, the idea of, the battle droids and like, I know that there is an understanding between the creators and the audience that you will be well-versed enough in Star Wars to recognize battle droids or the name Count Dooku or things like that. But if you're not really invested in it, if you're just like, yeah, Mandalorian's great, Baby Grogu or Baby Yoda, even though you should call him Sir Grogu, is so cute, blah, blah, blah. There might be stuff in there that goes over people's head. So
I think a lot of it will go over
fans,
your head, but I feel like you still get the gist of the story of,
yeah,
especially in his line of, I forget what it was, but it's like, the evil Republic couldn't stop me. The Empire wouldn't stop me. You're not going to stop me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that gives you really everything you need to know of, oh, this guy's old guard.
Well, and he's also calling Christopher Lloyd. He's just old.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. This is Star Wars. Someone could look extremely young and be extremely old and vice versa because stupid rules.
That's also true.
Like, again, like Grogu is like 80.
I thought he was 50.
Look, time jump, weird shit. I don't
Google.
know. The point is that he's old.
How old is Grogu?
But like having those lines there and having that's like, okay, so if you know Separatists, you know that. But also, if you're watching Mando, you have especially after last episode, you have enough knowledge that the Republic are the quote unquote the good guys of Star Wars, which really, Clone Wars makes that a matter of perspective. You have enough knowledge there.
Grogu is about 50 when the series starts.
50 when it starts, so that would be about 60-ish now?
52, 53.
Well, remember there's a 5-year time jump.
Was it 5? I thought it was only a couple.
I thought it was 5. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. 50 to 60 really somewhere in there. The point is he's old.
But he's only old relative to us. He's not old relative to Yoda's or whatever that species is referred to as.
But yeah, I mean, aside from the actual political stuff, let's talk about the Mandalorians in particular, the big point this week. First off, that just looked so cool. All of them outside of their ships, like the two Mandalorians playing catch was something that was very funny to me for some reason.
It felt super Clone Wars. Even just like going back to the opening of the episode and them hailing the space squid ship and that whole scene just felt like it was pulled out of a telenovela of like, but I love you. I know, but you must go with them. And just like, it was a little heavy handed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I
like this is coming from someone who actively watches professional wrestling. People feel the same way about that as a form of sports entertainment. And I was thoroughly sports entertained this weekend at WrestleMania. But
yeah, the only thing I really loved about that was just they did not need to have this person chilling in a water tank to start.
I appreciated it.
I was like, you didn't need this. I love this, but you didn't.
It's very cool. It was very unexpected, very unnecessary, but I feel
especially because everyone else
Star
is
Wars.
the
Star
same
Wars
race.
Is extra.
Everyone else is the same aliens, and none of them are in water tanks.
Yeah, but she was the captain, so she gets special treatment.
Yeah, it's her ship. But no,
it's her command. It's her captain's chair. It just so happened to also contain a water tank.
Mm-hmm. But you're seeing everything, especially with like Axe Wolves, which I keep wanting to call them Axe Wolves, like wolf.
See, I hear it and I'm like Axl Rose. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses.
But like seeing Axe like having taken over and he is a snarky asshole. I thought for sure they might be going down Death Watch territory with him. I think they still might. Like he feels like an antagonist still. Yeah. Or maybe not necessarily an antagonist, but definitely not a protagonist. Like he's definitely not on the good side for the show.
That's where I know him from. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
He's great in that show.
Like I know that face. He was good in S.H.I.E.L.D. He was really good. We should talk about that show at some point.
I've been saying we need to do that for ages now.
Yeah, I know, but now I'm presenting it as an original idea because I like to do that.
Okay, fine. Do you want to watch every episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes.
Because
I don't have time.
2/3 of the way through the series.
I just started watching The Leftovers on HBO. So
I just started rewatching CW shows. So
which ones?
I'm on Supergirl right now.
Okay.
Mostly watching it for Dreamer. because Dreamer pops up in the last season of The Flash, and Dreamer has also just kind of become one of my favorite
A
DC
great character.
characters.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Like, I straight up bought a comic book just because she was on the cover, and I'm going to put it on my wall.
Of course you did.
I'll show you the picture.
That is a Griffin-ass move.
It's like a tarot card design, too. It's really cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Where were we?
Mando.
Oh, yeah.
Mando. Mandalorians specifically. I do like that we got payoff relatively quickly to the whole thing set up by the Armorer last week of you will walk both paths, you will unite Mandalore. And then, of course, they skip over this plot point of the saving of Mando on Mandalore until it's very convenient to be like, yes, in front of these Mandalorians that don't respect you, you beat the thing that beat me, so here's the stick back.
Like, it is convenient to do that, but also when else would they have brought it up?
I mean, they could have brought it up when they returned from Mandalore.
Yeah, but they didn't care.
Like, it could have just been when they got back, been like, yeah, not only was she redeemed, but she also saved me from this thing that, and like, here's her stick back. Like,
yeah, but it's Bo-Katan.
felt...
Would she have accepted it then? I feel like she's accepting that partially because, yeah, she deserves it, but also because there's other people present. If it was just the two of them, there's no way.
Are the other Mandalorians going to also respect that decision, or will there still need to be trial by like that's the interesting thing
not.
here.
That's why Axe is here. Mark my words. Axe and shoot, what's the name of the what's his name in the cult?
Paz
Vizsla. That's why they're here. Like there is still going to be conflict, but I think we're getting to the point with the Mandalorians of the conflict's still going to be there no matter what. We're all going to put it aside for a second to go take back our home, and then we'll start fighting each other again.
I guess, and I do hope that it doesn't take away from the main story. Like that's the thing for me is like, while I appreciate the non-serial breaks from the story, I do really want there to be a story. It's one of the things that I actually feel like Star Wars could do a better job of, and it's something that has happened throughout the series. So I can't fault it for it because it's just the style of storytelling of this sort of asynchronous. Not everything is going to follow the main story beats kind of thing, unless you're watching a movie. I do wish this was a little more serial, just personal preference. But again, it's one of those things of it feels weird. We've gotten to this point and we still don't really have any tangible goal other than retake Mandalore. Like, what does that mean? What is happening behind the scenes? What's up with the whole Appa from Kim's Convenience finding out that someone yeeted Moff Gideon? Like, there are these plot threads they're leaving open that I know Filoni and Favreau and team are going to go back and explore. I want it now.
Yeah, I think we're at a point where also you're just going to have to accept that some of this is being set up for longer than just this season. Yeah. Which I am totally here for. I love that type of storytelling of, hey, let's set things up. Let's play the long game on this one. Like Thrawn in Rebels was set up over a good amount of time, and that's why he is such a great villain. Also, because he's written extremely well. But that's beside the point.
We say that. We've got 2 episodes left this season. What if they just went balls to the wall and these 2 episodes were like 2.5 hours each?
They would never do that. We have predicted that every season, and every time we predict it, Mitch, every time we predict that, it becomes the shortest episode of the season. Please stop. We can't keep doing this to ourselves.
Look, that can't happen. There was an episode this season that was like 26 minutes. Like, there will not be a shorter episode than that. I'm going back to find it.
Mitch, we've done that on almost every single series we've talked about. It's like, yeah, this is going to be the one that's going to be like an hour and a half long. It's 20 minutes.
I hope not, because the premiere of this season was 35 minutes, including credits. I hope we don't get anything shorter than that.
Oh, I think we will, but
I want some meaty Mandalorian for these last 2 episodes. And I feel like the internet, like there is definitely a vocal group that is wanting more. And I really hope that they're saving bigger payoffs for the end here. I want to know, with next week, what are they going to be setting up for the finale? Is there a big twist? Is there a big reveal that's going to be played out in the finale? We don't know. And I want more. I need it, Griffin. I just need more.
We will get more next week. No, obviously, all roads lead to Mandalore. That's where we're going. That's where the season's going to end. The question is, are we making a Moff Gideon pit stop on the way there?
That's a good question. We'll find out.
We will find that out next week. Until then, folks, we have plenty of content to check out. We've got another main episode of the show up, hopefully around the time that this goes up, because we're recording these back to back. All about Disney's annual shareholder meeting. Yeah, I know. That sounds extremely boring. Trust me, give us a shot.
It probably will be.
Yeah, but we'll be in the weeds and we'll make it fun, I promise.
Griffin will try and I might fall asleep.
I will definitely be going off on a rant during this episode. So
I'm gonna give you your soapbox. You deserve it for this one.
Mm-hmm. Check that out. Check out other episodes of this. Check out our trailer reacts. We have reacts up right now to the brand new Secret Invasion trailer. We also have a reacts up to the most recent Elemental trailer. Highly recommend checking those out. Mitch, where can people find us if they want to keep up with us?
At D+Us across the internet. That is TikTok, that is Twitter, that is YouTube, that is Instagram coming soon. It is anywhere you want your D+Us content. We will be in your ear holes and in your eye holes to fill that void. Yeah, keep an eye out. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think about the most recent episode of Mandalorian in the comments of this video. And until next time, bright suns, and have a magical day.